150 years ago, President Lincoln legally freed the American slaves with the Emancipation Proclamation. And now our reporter Daniel Rentes has more on what this means today from Washington.
They flowed into Washington, a tide of those outraged by racial inequality, yet determined to be counted among those ready to fight for change. 50 years on, they're making the case for greater strides for reform by gathering at the feet of the statue of Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator.
Well, this is a sacred event as far as I'm concerned. Dr. Martin Luther King was not only just a prophet to America, but a prophet to the world.
Those advocating for improved economic empowerment cite compelling data showing that some measures of racial inequality have actually increased from 50 years ago. For the nation's first African-American president, Barack Obama has generally avoided the subject of race. This is his opportunity to define his vision for civil rights for the next 50 years. Among the crowds were people who attended the original march, including Adrian Ziepold.
It was amazing. I just was so caught up in the moment and in the speeches and the music, Mahalia Jackson particularly, and in Dr. King's speech turned out to be the greatest speech of the century.
The crowds have been streaming past the construction site for the planned new housing of the Museum of African American History and Culture.
50 years ago, I could not live where I live now. 50 years ago, it would be unlikely that I'd have a job at the Smithsonian, and relatives would not have had the opportunity to go to university where they chose to. We had a parallel world.
50 years on, there's a sense of tremendous social change, but also of an unfinished journey on the path to equality. Daniel Rentes, CCTV, Washington.